Hello, boys, girls, non-binary, and all those in between. Fellow anarchists, loudhouses, and ruffians, drama and drag queens, to In the Light. I'm your host, Alex V. Starchild, your proctor of the truth and giver of reason, bridgers of divide, and anchor of sanity of the mind. So by now you're wondering, what is In the Light? Well, In the Light is a podcast series for finding better ways to live life, solve conflicts, and to find peace of mind. So, send in your problems, questions, or give a fancy greeting or a shout out. But only the best one that stands out will be chosen. So I'm going to be breaking the main section of each episode into like 3 or 4 scenarios. With that being said, let's get started. Well, we've all been there before. We've had friends fight over some reason. Well, somehow you got caught in the middle of the crossfire. So, how should we deal with this? Well, for starters, just don't pick a side. If your friends are arguing about something completely stupid, they should, as grown folks, be able to handle this on their own. You shouldn't have to be caught in the middle of something completely stupid. Now, if your friends like the same person and are fighting over romantical situations, well, they're just going to have to understand that that person has their choice, and they're going to have to live with that choice. No one should sacrifice their happiness just because somebody says, well, because we're friends, you should let him date me instead of you. It doesn't work that way, girls, or guys, or anyone who identifies as something else. It's what they choose. It's how it happens. So, now if your friends decide to, let's say, fight over a morally objectable, can't English, wow, first episode, and I can't even say words right. Anyways, if they're fighting over something that may be morally objectable, like, let's say somebody decided to break the laws, I would say you should choose the side of someone who is following the rules at this point. Because that person who is breaking the rules or the laws should know. And they need to be known. So, you can keep your friends and not have to see them in like a jail cell. Let's be smart people. Remember, K is for a better future. Always keep living to be free. Now this little next part is dedicated to my co-host who can't be here unfortunately. She will be on here soon, don't worry. She says, well, and I quote, she says, parents are assholes. Because, basically, all adults will tell you, well, it's just their parenting skills. It's how they want to do it. Well, no. If your parents leave bruises or they are breaking the freaking law, it's not, and I quote, how they should be running their lives. Report their asses. Take pictures. Get as much evidence as you can and report them. Guys, if you're living in an abusive situation, find help. Tell a teacher. If a teacher doesn't help, tell a guidance counselor. If your guidance counselor doesn't help, go to a police station. Call child services. Call people. Call family members you trust, friends. Try to get help and get out of the situation. You should not be living in a household where you feel threatened, abused, or anything that can bring harm to you or your siblings. So, if you or a friend are living in a situation, I would say, get help. Don't let them sit through that. No one deserves to grow up in a shit household. No one deserves to feel like they're worthless, like they are less than nothing, because their parents want to abuse them or make them feel like shit every day of their lives. No one should come to school or to anywhere, job, place, or even outside their house feeling like they don't matter to this world because their parents treat them like shit. No one deserves that. Another segment, this is for my fellow LGBT friends, family, and anyone who identifies in the LGBT community. If your parents don't like your sexuality or your gender identity, it's gonna take some time because some don't understand. You might have to explain it to them like several times, or maybe you would have to tell them, hey, this is what's up. I can't change this way. Now, if you're living with parents who just don't completely just support that because of whatever religious belief or they had, or that's how they were raised, and they are treating you like shit, and going back into what I said previously, if they abuse you or harm you or make your living situation at home feel like you're not safe or anything, get out of there. I found in the LGBT community is that we get to make our families. No matter what flower blossomed from anywhere, we always end up as a beautiful rainbow bouquet of flowers because we came together and we stood strong and we held our own. We made our own family. We are family. So, if you identify anything other than a boy or girl that's different from your birth certificate, or you just don't have a gender specifically, or you're just all in between, or you like guys, but you're a boy, and you are a girl, and you like girls, or you like both, or you just don't like either, or anything like that, and your parents don't support it, or your family is completely against it, but realize you can find another family. There are millions of us. Trust me. You can't turn a corner without finding another gay, a lesbian, bisexual, hey, even transgenders. You can't turn another corner and not find one. We can make our own family, and we can stand strong together, because we are better united than we are separated. That is the truth, right? Now, listen up to parents and children. This is for both of you. Don't change yourself because some 2,000-year-old book said you had to be this way to be happy or to go to some place that we still don't even know exists after the afterlife. Always keep questioning, where are we going after we are gone? Because nothing is truly set in stone. There is no definitive proof. Just because you believe something doesn't make it factual. You shouldn't have to give up your happiness just because a book says so. In a book that, I might add, has changed several times over the 2,000 years that it's been. Like, several times. Each time has been changed, making one message sound completely and utterly different from what the original message was, making it seem like this group is the reason this happened, making it seem like this group should be going to hell. Basically, every iteration of the Bible becomes a new witch hunt. It's this group that becomes the new witches. Anyone who's ever read The Crucible or any witch hunt books will get those references. Yeah, you can probably tell already, I am a bookworm. I love books. I will read. I will philosophize. I will sit there, read through textbooks, documents, literature, anything, and pull out powerful messages to show why this can be right or this can be wrong, or why this is so confusing to many people. Parents, do not try to force your child to be something other than who they are. You're just going to cause psychological imperfect developments as they grow up. It's not cool. It's terrible. We already have enough people who have psychological problems because parents want to try to force their children through conversion therapies, shock therapies, therapies that I still don't get why are still legal in the United States or anywhere in the world, in fact. And parents, please don't use the excuse that it's against my beliefs. No. If your beliefs are going to cause psychological are fucking wrong. I'm sorry. I will fucking say it. Your beliefs are wrong. No one deserves to be unhappy in this world just because some book said so. Just because some written stone says these people can't be happy. Nothing should be like, well, everyone is invited to join, but these people. No. Shit shouldn't happen like that. Not at all. Everyone deserves an equal opportunity on this earth. Life is going to be hard. It already is hard already. We just don't need people making it harder because they are either one, insecure about themselves, two, don't know how the world works and are just completely ignorant and intolerant to things that are different from what they've seen when they've grown up. Just because you're not exposed to it when you were growing up doesn't mean it wasn't there. Shit's been around for freaking centuries since we as humans started on this earth. Shit has been there. Shit's been there before we even were there. So your beliefs on this don't add up. They don't work. Stop. Because again, no one deserves to go through this world unhappy because of people. I get the loss of people. Someone are going to be unhappy. Everyone's going to be sad when they lose somebody close. But they should be sad because they lost somebody close and they're still alive, but they are the ones who pushed them out. No one deserves that shit. So remember, children, if parents aren't good, like I described, you can always find another family. It doesn't even have to be an LGBT person. You can be a straight person, but your parents have somehow abused you and pushed you out. You can find communities, bands, drama departments, fine arts. These places will make you. These places, you will find someone to relate to, someone to tell your stories to, someone to just let it out, someone to become your best friend. No matter what, somehow your best friend is going to be with you. You're going to find them and you're going to know that's the person you want. That person is your best friend. And then sooner or later, you're going to find that person who's going to make you happy for the rest of your life. So you're going to have your best friend and your significant other. You can always look for those two things in this world and always be happy. It doesn't always have to come from your parents. Well, everyone, that is all the time I got for today. If you want more tips and answers to life, drop a question in the comments below, and it might be chosen for the next episode. If you also want to just get a shout out, drop a fancy greeting, like, make it fancy. It can get it, and I will choose it. It doesn't always have to be Shakespeare. It can be anything else. And the best one will be chosen and will be featured right before the episode starts. So remember, kids, life's too short to be controlled all the time. So always try to live free in who you are. Thanks, guys. So subscribe and hit that bell icon so that way you don't miss another episode of In the Light. And don't forget to keep gazing for the best possible future in the right ways. Live for the better future. This is Alex V. Starchild signing off.
You and me are bored of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high on love. They can chase us down, but we will always win. Leading every dance, feeling every touch, and getting high on love. We're invincible.